thank you guys so much for coming here this evening. We have Erik, the general manager of Reddit, who I don't know your last name, so I'm just going to call you Erik Reddit.
Martin.
Erik Reddit. And Ben Hutt of the Cheezeburger Network. I'm a little bit nervous to talk in front of you guys, but not really. It just kind of seemed like the polite thing to say. I'd like to start off with a joke. How many startups does it take to change the world? Knock, knock. Just one. This one. My app idea is a GPS teenage makeout spot locator. It's called Makeout, spelled M-A-Y-K-O-T. We already have a lot of T-shirts made up, so if we could just push this through.
Is that .ot?
I'm just going to give my presentation and I'll field questions afterwards. So basically, I'm going to run through some of the features that I thought up on the plane ride this morning. Okay, so people can basically, it's a GPS thing, so it'll integrate with your maps on your phone, and people can tag makeout spots as they see them. Maybe it's behind a school. Okay, maybe it's in my parents' basement. Whatever, people can tag those spots, and then they show up as blue dots. The user can sign in to the spot and tell the app if it's male or female, the user. Based on the user's sex, the Makeout app there's little notification tips that pop up as you get closer to your spot. And I would like to go through some of those notifications now. One is, do not use too much tone. No one wants to leave here soaked. Another one is, you do not grab boobs. You caress boobs. If unfamiliar with what it means to caress, see also knead, as in kneading dough. The word dry should never be used to describe anything that's about to happen. There's another notification. Apply lotion daily to avoid any nickname containing the noun sandpaper. Once a spot is checked into, it becomes occupied, and the blue circle will become red. The user has the option of setting timers and alarms so they don't miss curfew. It can also send a text, an SMS text out to your parents, say that you're coming home soon, or the person that you're cheating on that you're coming home soon. There's a sexy voice guide, turn-by-turn guided navigation, and she'll say things like, turn left, tiger, because that's a sexy thing to say. That'll conclude my presentation. I broke the podium. The presentation ended and none of this is part of it now. So I would appreciate your feedback.
So in terms of providing guidance, how does the application know what is the opportune moment to provide that guidance? I want to make sure that I'm not being interrupted, and I think this is an environment where interruption will actually ruin the user experience.
I actually don't care about that kind of thing, and this is more about providing tips to provide the best borderline sexual experience for the user.
Are you going to provide graphics to illustrate how the activity should occur?
Not me personally, but someone on my team that I haven't put together yet.
Have you thought about having promoted listings so that you could advertise your makeout spot?
I don't know exactly how you advertise the back of a church parking lot. But
what if that church wanted to increase their business? I mean, increase people who,
I would have to speak with the clergyman.
Would it be possible for me to mark the location of places where I stashed condoms secretly so that my parents wouldn't find out? Or
yeah, we're talking to a bunch of geocaching sites and blogs now. So it's all very scavenger hunt based, and they're all rhyming clues.
Who do you think is, how will you get distribution for this? I mean, obviously,
the App Store.
But that's kind of a dumb way to distribute stuff. I mean,
why?
In and of itself, it won't help you.
Maybe you're a dumb way to distribute stuff.
Okay.
You ever think of that?
Is there a social aspect to this that says, hey, my friends are making out, I should also download this app?
There are several social aspects to this, both positive and negative. Making out just throughout the years is a very social thing. There are, of course, as we know, social diseases that can be passed.
Well, my fear is that it is not sufficiently social, that you will not achieve a viral coefficient of more than one, because in order for the app to actually work, you need maximum viable distribution. That means you need to actually propagate the promiscuity of the activity.
Yeah.
And does the app do that?
Okay, so to provide privacy, what will happen is when somebody...
No, not privacy, the opposite. Like, I want, like, you
Can I
want to be as
Can
slutty
I
as
finish
possible.
me talking? Please. I'm significantly less nervous now, I'm just angry. So when somebody checks into a spot, on Facebook and on Twitter, you can integrate. The apps do. And you could say that it won't tell you exactly where you are or who you're with, but it will say, like, Chelsea is getting it. And then it'll have the link to the app. So you may also, it'll say, like, do you want to get it? So basically, end game. How much money do you think that you guys can give me personally tonight to start this up? And so keep in mind, it's a really good idea.
I'm not even sure that you should even ask that question.
Let's just say, argument's sake, that I did just ask that question. Can I have some money to do it?
You know, VCs always like to tell you to come back when the idea has germinated somewhat.
Yeah, there's plenty of germs associated with this.
That's kind of my problem, is that I think the answer is probably no, given the potential.
Okay, so mom says no, dad says what?
Well, I want to know what are your first rollout cities? Like where are we starting with this?
Probably my town. This is more for personal use than anything else.
Where's your city?
It's in Connecticut. It's one of the bigger cities in the greater Connecticut area.
So yeah, I'm worried about seasonal difference. I'm also worried about, or I think you have an opportunity. People are now using Uber and Sidecar and Lyft. I mean, if you have a car, especially like a station wagon or an SUV, could you, through this app, make available the back of your car for neighborhood teenagers to use?
Well, you can. I think it's more about where you go with your car. And like an abandoned house is going to be an abandoned house no matter what season it is. If we can be totally honest.
But the problem with the abandoned house is that it doesn't have heating. And what you really want to do is offer people the choice of safe environments to make out.
In my personal experience with making out, it generates all kinds of heat. Like fire in your mouth.
I think you should come back to us with a little bit more validation of the concept and perhaps shrink your problem down to something a little bit more manageable. So instead of doing everything, try to do a few things. That's what
I just want to make out.
Okay.
That's one thing.
Yeah. So you should focus on that problem.
I'm hearing a maybe.
No, you're hearing
and
a
I'm
no.
feeling a yes.
You're hearing a no.
I'm going to go before you can say no.
You're actually hearing a no.
You ever see this?
It's an elevator.
Good. Thank you guys very, very much. Thank you. Amazing. Experience you have of making out. In my personal experience, it generates all kinds of heat.